yesterday at the intermission, I was saying like I just like it's this weird experience of like I'm laughing. I feel like I'm laughing a lot, and I'm constantly on high alert, looking for things that are funny. But I'm not sure what it is exactly is the source of what I'm laughing at, except that I know that there's something really dangerous that's happening in the house, and I can't put my finger on what it is.
Yeah.
I think you get to it during the acid trip,
right?
But like, but in the whole first act, I don't really. I know that there's this sense of being like on a precipice, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's because Justin's character is so volatile, and you know, in the first scene, I come home and I'm hurt and everything, and not only does he not really take good care of me, but then he hits me in the head. But then on a dime, he can turn and be so sweet, and it's people like that keep you really off balance. And Justin does a wonderful job of being really charming one moment and then scary the next, and it's totally fluid.
Yeah. Well, and you also there's like a part of you that still you don't. I mean, I imagine you guys know really, really well, like clearly, because you've been working on the play for so long, that she's clearly not like a sex slave or a prostitute. But there is this part of us that I think, I mean, I felt when I was reading it yesterday, I don't really know what to think yet. Like, I just don't know enough, I don't have enough information at first.
Yeah.
And so I think that maybe you don't know who's right and who's...
Yeah, and like it's more fun for Justin's character to think she is than to think she's not, because he just enjoys doing things like that. So, and for me, we both need to believe it. The reason we need to believe it is because I need her to be a victim in order for my kind of black and white view of the world to be accurate, and he needs her to be a victim because he wants to sexualize her because there's a girl in his house that's pretty. So we both want it to be so, and I don't know how the audience feels, you know, but maybe they want it to be so as well because it's something illicit and enticing about that. And of course it's the wrong thing to think, and it's bad, and hopefully I'm slapped in the face at the end, and maybe if you're interested in the audience and that she's a sex slave, maybe you are as well.
There is definitely a feeling of like when I realized that I had thought that I felt, you know, like I was...
Yeah, you feel bad about it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So thanks. What is it? And so that you're clearly like a writer as well as a performer, and in this case, you kind of have to sort of keep a playwright's eye while you're in rehearsal, but you're also focusing on your own performance. Do you find it hard to kind of shift back and forth from being able to look at the play as a whole to be able to look at the play from within your own experience of it, or do you just have Kip for that?
Yeah, it's difficult, but he's a phenomenal director, and also did that weird thing in this particular instance of having to assure me that it's okay, but then separating me from it so I can focus on the acting.
It's a tricky balance. I mean, whenever a playwright is acting in their own thing, like when you enter in, when you can no longer remove yourself and have a playwright's eye, it's a really dicey thing. And like, 2.5 weeks in, Jesse and I would have conversations about like, when we were first starting to do runs, Jesse would laugh a lot during the runs, and I think that was because he was looking at it as a playwright and not as an actor, and that was time when I knew we had to push him to be like, no, now you're an actor, actually, like you're not the playwright anymore, you're an actor now, and the outside eye has to be me or whoever else is in the room, yeah.
That must be so hard. I mean, like now that you're in previews, especially because you're talking about an audience response that you have to kind of...
Yeah, I mean, tonight was really the anomaly. Normally, it doesn't affect us. I think yesterday was our first day on. I don't mean to self-analyze, but it was. Yeah, today was an anomaly, and it threw us off a little bit. Not in a bad way, and we so appreciate such a nice response. But it is changed. You have to modulate based on the audience and. The play is not explicitly comedic at every moment. It's supposed to, there are stretches where it's not supposed to be, so it's strange if that laughter carries over, but that's just for us to figure out. It's not the audience's fault, it's for the actors to figure out and plow through.
Yeah. I know you guys have probably like notes and things to do, but we have time for let's say 3 questions from the audience, so make them good. Okay, I'm going to sort of move through the house geographically. I'll start there.
When you retreated to the bedroom and there was a long time and you didn't come out. And did, maybe Kip needs to answer this, but I worried that he'd taken his life. Are we supposed to be worrying about that?
That's not comedic. That's someone not focusing on the comedy.
No, I mean, he's been humiliated and he can't bear to see them anymore because he's been shown that he's a fool. But no, I mean, there actually used to be a line in the play where I say like, I say joking like I was going to kill myself, and then I say no, I'm kidding, I'm not suicidal. Like somebody's so indulgent that they can't even use that term colloquially that they have to like show. Don't worry, I'm not actually suicidal. As though the other people in the room are concerned about it. But no, he's not doing that.
And actually, there was a line that we cut recently where Asuncion is going up to make the ginger tea, and she says, "Don't open a window, Vinny, he'll jump."
Yeah, and then Edgar says, "And maybe I will."
I had never thought of that, but I think that's interesting.
Well, I think it goes along with what Adam said about the sense of danger.
Yeah, right.
Like we're just kind of waiting for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comedic to
Well,
happen.
there's this, I feel like you just know that something's going to snap, something's going to give, and when suddenly they talk about like how they're going to drop acid, you're just like, oh, no.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the relationship between Vinny and Edgar, we'll back up. At first I thought the question of the play was regarding Asuncion, and is she or isn't she? But it turned into what will she catalyze between Vinny and Edgar? That was what I started to see, and I thought there was maybe some ambiguity in that relationship, which I enjoyed, but I just thought it was really interesting, and I was wondering if you could elaborate on that relationship.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, she changes the boys' relationship because they become friends, because he's of the world and he treats people as individuals, even though he's condescending and sarcastic and patronizing people as individuals, because I only see her as a victim, but he sees her as an individual. So in the act break, when they come back, they become friends because he sees people as individuals, and I can't see her. So then when I'm bragging to him about all this great stuff, these field notes I've taken, he's disgusted by it because he sees her as an individual, not as a series of Post-it notes. And then he ruins the story and to teach me the lesson.
I'll go back to yeah.
But how do you does your character see Vinny? Justin's character, like, is he an oppressor, or what keeps you in the house? Why don't you leave? What keeps you through everything staying there?
Because Edgar has an abused personality, like somebody who seeks out an abuser because they feel so bad about themselves and they're so embarrassed to be themselves, so they seek out somebody to manifest the abuse that they want to put on themselves. And Vinny, in him, finds somebody he can be easily manipulated, and then almost to the point of abuse. But he can be manipulated because Vinny likes to be in control. He's a teacher. He quotes people. Vinny also feels uncomfortable in his own skin because Vinny sees himself as somebody who really should be, kind of in Africa, somebody he thinks that. And so he takes out his insecurities on somebody who's like him but apologizes for it, which is me.
It's a pretty classic codependent relationship, which you see in the last scene when suddenly Jesse's character is about to leave, and Vinny flips out, and he needs him to stay. He needs, the abuser needs the abusee as much as vice versa.
Yes. We'll do both of you. How about we'll do him and then you.
Hi. It was wonderful production, wonderful direction, and I have a question. You're speaking about the play very exactly, and clearly you understand the mechanics of the play very well as it exists in terms of character, plot, dynamics, things like that. Like I'm listening to you, and the mechanism of the play is all too clear. But as a playwright and a person, when you're within the play, do you ever want to say or have someone say something different than they say in the moment? Do you ever want someone to say?
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, because I think of it as just a play. I'm not I don't think of it like it's not like changing my mind while I'm acting in it about things. And no, unless somebody misses a line.
So it just works. There's a
Well,
feel about it working.
That's a subjective experience, but what I want to say works for me. But I mean, I can't speak for anybody else.
And
I was just going to ask if we were supposed to read into whether there were any sexual undertones between the two men, because even when the play starts and he has the bruise and he's cleaning it up, he's saying how he, likes the way he does that, and then of course the more overt sexuality when they're on LSD. And I'm just wondering about that component to that relationship, or if that's more part of the codependency control issue, or whether there was any sexuality to be implied there.
Yeah, I think maybe it's more just about using sex as well as many other things, violence and words and dangling the book over me, and all those things. I think sex is just another aspect of it. I don't think that it's like the truth is that they're actually in love with each other romantically, and it's just waiting for that to manifest.
So it's more of a control.
Yeah, and it's supposed to relate back to that we think she's a sex slave, that she's a sex victim of sex. And then he uses it against me. And actually the only victim of sex in the house is the guy who is the only person who thinks that there is a victim of sex.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh,
and one more? You want to do one more?
sure.
Yeah, let's do one more, and then we'll call it a night.
Jess, would you ever be interested in switching with Justin Bartha and playing Vinny?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that role, and I, do it when I'm writing it, and I'm doing it, and I feel just as intense about that role and interested in that role as I do in my own when I'm writing it. But it might be difficult to do. I know Justin could do the other role, and I would love to try it. I will never do that just because.
Come back tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Alright, are we booking it out of here?
I'm being creepy as much as I can. Can we talk to him? Can we ask him something?
Oh my god, what do you want to ask him?
If he writes the notes.
Go, do it!
I can't do it. Oh my gosh.
Well, I can't do it.
You do it.
Do it, fucking do it, go, do it. Go, wait. No, wait, unrecord this.
No, keep it.
Oh my god, well, I want to know too. I want to hear you say it right. I'm unrecording.